I just asked Claude to design a thumbnail for me for this tutorial, and it's doing it right now. It's designing my thumbnail. I'm not touching my keyboard. I'm not in Canva, just right here from Claude. And here we go. We have 4 different thumbnail designs. So let's discover them. This is the first one. Is this the future of design? Not my style, but it's a YouTube thumbnail. It's correct. Let's see the second one. Is this the future of design with AI? Okay, took a bit of liberty here to add some custom text. All right, this one is very weird and not making it. And then the last one right here. Is this the future of design with AI? Interesting. So I think out of the bunch, the first one, this one right here is my favorite one. Is this the future of design? Exploring the future possibilities of design technology. Okay, great. So I have this preview. I can ask Claude to create this design. Okay, open the link and there you go. It opens my thumbnail right here in Canva and everything is editable. I can click on any text box. You see, I can ungroup all of these text boxes and now I can start designing. For example, this photo right here is not going to make the cut. I'm going to bring one of my photos from my uploads right here. Sure, I have some photos of myself. Yep, this will do. Quick background remove. There you go. Flip. And then there you go. Ronnie's right here kind of thinking about the future of design. You know, I can get rid of some of the stuff, but is this the future of design? This is an interesting hook for a thumbnail, in my opinion. I just need to style this a little bit more to make it more on brand. Use the font we usually use on our thumbnail. Is this, let's break this into 4 lines. Is this the future of design? Like so. I'm gonna make this all caps, the entire box, all caps, please. There you go. Make this bigger, less spacing, maybe 1, and there you go. I do have a good thumbnail right here and maybe need a little bit of visual. I can tweak the colors if I want, but in a fraction of a minute, I would say, Claude came up with this design out of nowhere. I mean, I prompted right here in the chatbot and it gave me some options. Each design incorporates space for your instructor photos, the "Is this the future of design" text, and a modern AI tech design elements. So that was my first ever try of the Anthropic Claude and Canva integration. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to set this up, walk you through a few powerful use cases for this Claude and Canva integration, and share with you a few real-world workflows that I have tested that could potentially make you save hours of work every week. Let's dive in. Hey guys, my name is Ronnie. If you're new here, subscribe so you don't miss all of the good stuff. Now, let's continue to explore this Canva Claude integration, all right? And I heard about that news on LinkedIn from my good friend Anwar, who is the head of ecosystem at Canva. So he's the guy always announcing the new integrations, the new AI stuff, the new apps. So there you go. Here is an exciting news, Canva plus Claude. He's explaining that we can now basically use the AI assistant Claude, if we have a pro plan, to work in Canva. Okay, generate first iteration of social posts, summarize campaign strategy documents, get Claude to review your pitch decks, etc., etc. There is a link to the Verge article right here. So what I did, I came back to Claude, I upgraded my plan to the pro plan. All right, you see I'm here on the 7-day trial for the pro plan of Claude. Let me show you. There you go. So you need to come here, upgrade to the pro plan. And for me, I didn't have to pay for anything for the first 7 days. So that's all good. I can try this without even entering a credit card information. I appreciated that. And my first prompt was the following. I just saw this big announcement that Claude can now connect to Canva via their MCP server. I want to create a tutorial for YouTube showing people how to use this new integration. Here is the LinkedIn post that I saw announcing the news, and here is the link to the Verge article mentioned in the post. Your task, Claude, is to help me create the structure of this tutorial. And you see, I basically screenshotted the LinkedIn post from Anwar, pasted it here, and Claude answered to me, I will help you create a comprehensive tutorial, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so just that's basic chatbot stuff. So let me show you what it came up with. So Claude plus Canva integration. Start with an introduction. Okay, that's what I did. We are past that. Then what is this integration actually? Okay, so I need to give you the big picture and I'm going to follow this. I know it's a bit meta, so you can see kind of the behind the scene of how I created this tutorial, but I think this is interesting and I want to get to the demos and the real use cases as fast as I can. That's why I'm not gonna spend some time on slides and stuff like this. I'm going to show you everything from this conversation I had with Claude. So you can also realize how to create your own workflows with this. All right, so big picture, Anthropic Claude can now directly control Canva through their chatbot. This launched last week. Today here is July 22nd. When I'm filming this, it will be a bit later when it's published, but this integration launched on July 14. Why it matters? Because it's the first AI assistant to fully support the Canva workflow via MCP. All right, so what is MCP? Well, Claude anticipated your question. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol, MCP. And if we want to explain it in simple terms, it would be kind of like the USB port for AI apps. The MCP server allows any platform with that port, with that server, to connect to an AI chatbot. So the first one to fully integrate this here is Claude, but I'm guessing this is coming to ChatGPT and maybe to the other like Gemini. I'm not sure, but this is probably where we are going. And this is all made possible via this technology, the MCP, Model Context Protocol, that is kind of like your USB port to plug in these platforms to the chatbots. All right, so what can it do? Key capabilities. It can create new designs from scratch. It can edit existing designs. It can autofill templates with content. And we are going to try all of these capabilities in a second. I just want to show you kind of like the structure of what we are going to do here. It can resize and export designs. I can search through my Canva workspace, so search for specific documents, and I can summarize the content in Canva docs and presentations. And then a few requirements. You need a paid Claude subscription. Already mentioned that, starting at $17 a month. And it says that we need a paid Canva account, but I'm not sure about this. I actually double checked via the Canva expert Slack, and I've been told any Canva user can use this integration. So this information is not correct in my opinion. If it's not the case, let me know. I haven't tried with my free account, but I've got from like the source that it's available to all Canva users. Then it gives me a step-by-step process, which I much prefer showing to you rather than reading it from the chat. All right, so from my paid Claude account, okay, I have Claude Pro here. I'm going to click on this button, Search and Tools, and you see a few different things, but locate the Add Connectors button. So click here, and from here, you should see a list of all the platforms you can now connect directly to Claude via this MCP server. So I'm going to click on Canva. You can search, create, autofill, and export Canva design. Let's click on that plus button to connect. It's going to ask me which Canva account I want to connect. So I can select different Canva teams I'm part of. I'm good with Team Rondi here. I'm going to allow this. And there you go. Authorization successful. I'm going to be redirected back to Claude. And you see successfully connected to Canva. Perfect. It seems that I am connected. Let's click here. Yeah, I can see Canva right here. 22 and then the arrow. So these are all the things I can do. I can search for design, get design pages, get design content, search, etc., etc. A bunch of different things you can do, or Claude has access to do in your Canva account. Okay, and you can turn them on and off individually if you want to. Me, for now, I'm just going to let everything set on by default. All right, now let's come back to the key capabilities I was promised by Claude. All right, so I summed them up on this slide. The first one is to create new designs from scratch. Well, we kind of already did this in this conversation right here, where I asked Claude to create a thumbnail for a YouTube video titled Claude plus Canva integration with a photo of a man, the structure, and the keywords, is this the future of design? So if we come back to the conversation, we can see what Claude actually did here. It requested a YouTube thumbnail Okay, and then it gave it the details. All right, so design type, YouTube thumbnail. So that's the first query that it gave to Canva, Claude gave to Canva. And then it said, okay, I generated 4 different YouTube thumbnails for your design, blah, blah, blah. So here they were. And you see, it gave me 4 thumbnail previews. If I click on the image, I could see the preview as a small design like so. And then if I wanted, out of the 4, I selected this one, actually the first one, I asked it to create the design. That's what it did in this document right here. I changed the font and I added my photo instead of the man's photo, but that's pretty much everything I did. It created my thumbnail and it did so in the right format. If I look at this, this is indeed the YouTube thumbnail format. So this is great. So I could say that create a new design from scratch, it was able to do it without a problem. So that's a check mark for me. Let's continue to explore and experiment and see if it can edit an existing design. So in order to do so, I'm going to start back from my design right here. Okay, so this is where I am. I agree, I edited a little bit myself. So let's go back to when this text was actually, yes, like this. This is the original text, okay, be Vietnam. All right, so all right, I'm going to start by grabbing the title of this design. This is important because I need to make sure Claude understands which design I'm going to ask it to edit. So I'm going to prompt the following. I want you to edit my Canva design titled, and then I'm going to put the title, put this between air quotes, titled YouTube thumbnail. Okay. Change the font of the text. Is this the future of design? To Anton, all caps, size, I don't know, 150. Let's try this. Let's see if it can actually fetch my design and do it. Still connected, okay? The reason I'm checking if it's still connected is because when I was prepping for this tutorial, it had this tendency to sometimes disconnect from the MCP server. So make sure it's always connected. If not, reconnect it, not a big deal. Just something I ran into, like a little bit of trouble I ran into. So you see, fail to call the tool. So when this happens, sometimes you have to reconnect and refresh. See, I'm experiencing some connectivity issues. So it's trying to currently experiencing some technical difficulties. Okay, so this appeared to be a temporary connectivity issue on Canva's end. So then it gave me a way to do this manually. I don't want to do it manually. I want to show you how to do it from here. So what I'm going to do is to simply refresh, come back to my connector button right here, add connectors, click on Canva again. I'm going to disconnect and I'm going to reconnect. All right, so I'm back into Claude. I'm going to click on that button to see if it's actually connected. I see it is. From here, I have basically 2 choices. I could prompt in a new chat, okay, the same prompt, or I could fetch my conversation from the previous prompt I gave it, okay, with the different images right here. I'm going to try and continue in this previous conversation, okay? So I'm pasting the same prompt. I want you to do some edits in this design. I understand you'd like me to edit, but I need to clarify something important, okay? I'm going to allow. While I can help you with many Canva tasks like searching for design, viewing content, exporting, creating new design, I'm not able to directly edit text properties within existing designs, such as changing font, text size, or formatting. These types of detailed text edits need to be done with the Canva editor interface. Okay, so I like that it's being transparent with me. It's not saying things and promising things it actually cannot do. So there I have, great, I found your design titled YouTube thumbnail. Is this the future of design? Here is a direct link to edit your design. And then it gives me the exact breakdown of what to do. Okay, so I'm going to click the link to see if it's at least the correct design. Yes, it is. So basically, it cannot yet change properties of text, change the font, change the text size, or even, I believe, edit the content of the text. But it opened the right design and it told me what to do. So I'm going to quickly do this. Anton, all caps, and size 150, which is going to be too big. So I'm going to go for 85. Yes, this is the future of design. Okay, I'm going to leave this here for now. So we can see that from our little experiment here, edit existing design, I would give this one a meh, because this is not completely true. I wish it did, but maybe we could try with something else, and I will let you try with some other things. But for me, editing a text box is not a very complex task to ask for some design edits. It's a very common edit. Let's focus on the third one, autofill templates with content. This sounds interesting. Let's get back into Canva and let me search for a template. For example, let's see, I'm going to find an Instagram post template. Okay, so searching for Instagram post. Let's use this one, for example. Okay, so I have the link. Can I copy the link? Yes, I can copy the link to this template. I'm going to come back to Claude and ask it, I would like you to fill some content in this Canva template. So paste the Canva template, add the following. So first I need to see the template. Okay, so new collection coming soon at really great sign. So I want to replace new collection by updated Canva master course, and then at really great sign, replace new collection for updated Canva master course and replace at really great site. Let's continue adding these air quotes, at really great site for at team. Okay, let's see if it can fetch that. Let me make sure it's still connected. It is. Let's try this prompt. If it can do that, that would be pretty amazing in my opinion. So let's see. Let's give this an honest spin. All right, so it wants to use the tool. I'm going to allow this. It's not working. Allow me. Yes. Giving you full permission, man. Go for it. Come on, Claudie. You can do this. All right, so it's sending a query. White, red, torn paper. Okay, so it found the template, it seems. Let's see if it can edit it and fit it with content like I've been promised. So let's see. Let me try a different approach. I'll search for a specific template or similar design in your Canva account first. Maybe it's searching all of the templates. That's why it's taking forever. Maybe I should have opened my template in my Canva account first so that Claude has an easier access to it. Now it seems like it's searching and searching and searching. So I'm not sure this is going to work like so. Okay, I'm going to stop it here. Couldn't connect. I'm not sure if it's a connection problem again, or if it's simply that it cannot access the template. But what I'm going to do from here is to customize this template. I'm going to copy the title. There you go. I'm not going to customize anything myself. Just simply come back to Claude. So I would like you to fill some content in this Canva design. I'm going to give this collection Instagram post. There you go. So I am structuring my prompt here. Do the following. I could say edit the following. Replace new collection for okay, and replace. So now this is super clear. I would like you to fetch this Canva design, okay, in my Canva account. So let's be precise, okay, and edit the following. So this should be clear enough. I understand. However, I can guide you. Okay, so it seems like it's disconnected again. See, it's disabled. So it's pretty annoying that it's doing this. I need to connect again. So I'm going to reconnect. I really wish this wouldn't be the case. This would just work. Okay, let me refresh instead. All right, is this connected? Yes, now it's connected. So let me relaunch this prompt simply by editing and hitting enter again. All right, so I'm allowing you to connect. Now go for it. Run with it. So you see, it's not, okay, perfect. I found the thing. Okay, now it's trying to edit. So you see, it's not going to be a smooth ride. I mean, as of today, maybe because we are still very early in this integration, but something is going on here. So great. Okay, I can see the current text in your design coming soon at a really great site, new collection. Can see that the text element you want to change, new collection, should be replaced with Canva master course. And however, I should clarify that I can only view and analyze the content of your Canva design, but I cannot directly edit text within them through these tools. To make these changes, you need to click on the Canva design link, okay, and then make the edits manually. So when I click here, it should open the right design, and I will need to do this manually. So that's another meh for me. To be very honest, this is not what I expected. I expected this to be working and to do the changes for me, not telling me, okay, you need to do it manually after spending 10 minutes on Claude. All right, so I have one check and two mehs for now. Let's see if it can resize and export designs properly. So for this, I'm going to come back to my YouTube thumbnail right here. You know what? I'm going to finish this thumbnail. So let's switch back to Canva tutorial mode for a sec. I'm going to just make sure this looks nice. Okay, I'm going to reduce this to 1. Is this the future of design? And I want to add some Canva and Claude logos here. So for this, I'm going to use the brand fetch app, this app right here. I'm going to start with a Canva logo. So this one right here. Perfect. And I'm going to come find the same Claude logo. This one here. I like that they are at the same size, selecting them both, making them smaller. And I'm going to spread them out because I want to add a little X right here. Maybe change the font to something lighter, like glacial. Yeah, this works. I'm gonna make this smaller like this. Take this and put it right here. So now I have this. I just want to round the corners a little bit like so. Okay, good. Now just use the copy style button. All right, is this the future of design? I'm going to group this, make sure everything is well aligned. I'm good with this. Maybe I position my photo right here, a layer on top of everything. So I'm slightly covering the Claude logo right here. So it gives us a little bit cooler effect. And yeah, let's admit this is the thumbnail for this tutorial. I don't know what the actual thumbnail will be, but this is not too shabby. We can probably add this a bit more like thumbnail flair with an outline around my photo right here. Let's go for white. Yeah, that looks cool. All right, so what I want Claude to do now is to export this design. So again, I'm going to copy its title, come back to Claude, okay, right here, and I'm going to start a new chat. And I'm going to tell it, please fetch my Canva design titled, give it the title, and export it in PNG format. I believe it should be able to do this. Oh, you see, it's again disabled, so need to connect it again. I really hope they improve on that. See, and it's not disconnected. Actually, it seems connected. Okay, let's launch it. This shouldn't be too much of an issue. Okay, I will fetch. Okay, so I'm gonna allow it. So you see it's fetching this design. I think it found it. Yeah, it found it. Now it wants to export. It's interesting that it gives a design ID. So each design has its own ID. See, I run into another error. Let's try. PNG is available as an export format. Now I'll export your design as a PNG file. Let's see. Should be giving me a download link for this PNG. Okay, so it decided to set the export quality to Pro, and there you go. Perfect. Your YouTube thumbnail, is this the future of design, successfully exported to PNG format, and it gives me a link. So I'm going to click that link, obviously. And there you go. I have my thumbnail in PNG format. I can save that, save image as, and there you go. So that is Claude made thumbnail.png. Perfect. It's right here. I can open it from my download folder. So this is actually successful. So let's come back to our little checklist here. Oh, I haven't tried resize. I've tried export. Okay, let's try resize. Okay, so I'm here and I'm going to ask it, can you resize this thumbnail to a squared IG post? Okay, and I'm going to put IG instead of Instagram on purpose to see and test a little bit the model. All right, let's make sure it's still connected. It is, and launch. Let's see. So I didn't mention what design I wanted it to resize. Okay, so again, need to give it authorization. And yeah, so I will resize your YouTube thumbnail to a square Instagram post. So it understood IG means Instagram. I mean, not too challenging for a top-notch large language model, right? So perfect. I've successfully resize your YouTube thumbnail into a square Instagram post. Edit the resize design right here or view it here. So it gives me two links, one to edit the design or simply view. View is probably going to be an image. So I want to have the full shebang. So the resized. Okay. So there you go. It resized my thumbnail to a squared post, a squared format. Obviously, need to do a little bit of tweaking, but I didn't expect, even if I had done this with Canva, it would give me a similar problem that I would need to resize myself, right? So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just resizing this thing. So it's actually looking good, all right? And I can do something like this. So you saw it took me about 10 seconds while I was talking to you to actually adapt this resize design, but I could confidently say that the resize and export functionalities are working. So good, we are getting back on track. All right, search through my Canva workspace. Can it find information in my Canva workspace? That's a good question. Let me come back to my homepage and find something here. Like I would like to find a document that contains something specific and ask Claude to find this information. Yes, I would like to find the ronniehermosa.com website. Let's see if Claude can handle such a query. I'm going to launch a new chat. Can you search my Canva workspace? I'm going to use the exact same terminology and find a design related to my website. I wonder if it understands my name is Ronnie Hermosa because the title of the document is ronniehermosa.com. So let's try this first, like more vague query. Okay, let's just do that. Let's make sure it's connected. It is, and run the prompt. If it can fetch it, like the correct design, ronniehermosa.com, I would be very surprised. But I mean, I'm here to test this integration, so let's test it properly, right? Let's see how smart it is. I found several website-related designs. ronniehermosa.com, okay. Ultimate Risk, the rules. That is the custom version of the board game Risk I created. Let's create your Canva website. Black and white, sleek and simple, copywriter. Okay, good. But it did create my Canva design. Okay, so it is this one right here. This appears to be your personal website with 7 pages. Yes, I would say it's the first one. Can you open it for me? Okay, so what I did is on purpose, I kept the prompt going in natural language. So I didn't use the code it gave me. I just said, use the first one. So it said, okay, perfect. Here is your ronniehermosa.com website content. It's a beautifully structured personal brand website. And then it gave me all of the copy right here. Would you like me to help you with any updates to this content, export it, or work on any specific aspect? Okay, so now that I have you here, maybe act as a professional copywriter, act as a professional conversion copywriter, and suggest some improvement to this website. Okay, let's see, because this is really where the power of this integration lies. Not just in using Claude to open design and do some stuff, but to combine the knowledge that Claude contains, like that Claude has access to, with the fact that it can access my Canva design. This is really how this integration is supposed to be used. Because as you've seen so far in the video, it basically takes me more time to prompt and try again and connect again than to just do it myself in Canva. But this, what I'm doing here, is the real power. So critical issues hurting conversion, weak value proposition, current content creator teacher, problem, this is too generic, doesn't communicate specific values. Suggested fix, turn your creativity into 10K plus per month using AI and design tools. So that's one suggestion for the tagline of the website. Or from 0 to 50K, build your digital empire with Canva and ChatGPT. All right, so let's have a look at this website. It's been a while since I opened this website. This is the design. So I teach people how to build their personal brand and grow business. Okay, so basically it's giving me some suggestions to replace this tagline right here. All right, let's continue seeing what Claude analyzed from this website. Missing social proof numbers. Current, we have some generic testimonials, but no specific results or numbers. So suggested additions: join 500,000 plus students who've transformed their businesses. My students averaged 3x income growth in 90 days. Ad revenue, follower, client number, testimonial. Okay, so if I look at the website, I think this is what it's mentioning, the generic testimonials, which for me are not that generic. They are cool testimonials about my courses, but this is the suggestion. Okay, so add more specific, kind of like impact-oriented numbers. And then no clear call to action hierarchy. Problem: visitors don't know what to do first. Suggested fix: primary CTA, start your free mini course. Lead magnet. Then secondary CTA, book a free 15-minute strategy call. Tertiary CTA, course enrollment buttons. Okay, so it gives me some interesting suggestions for how to improve this website right here that I created in Canva. So I like that. I like that it understands the structure, what I'm trying to do, and then I can tap into its knowledge and attribute a role to it. I ask it act as a professional conversion copywriter. So this is when the language models are the most efficient, when you give them a role, because their knowledge is so broad that you need to kind of narrow it down for them to make it easier so they know what to focus on. So yeah, I think that was a success. So that was searched through my Canva workspace. That is a win. Okay, it did this perfectly. Summarize content in Canva Docs and Canva presentation. All right, let's try this last one. All right, I know what I'm going to do. I found this CV in my Canva account. Okay, this is an old CV, 2021. You can see my experience at Canva and then my previous experiences. I want to give access to Claude to this design and ask it to do something from that information. So I'm going to copy the title of this resume, come back to Claude and type the following. Access this Canva design in my account, give it the name, and analyze its content. Then write an about section for my LinkedIn profile based on the info you found in my CV. Let's fix the sentence here. Perfect. Let's launch this and see how it works. Found it. Good first step. Come on, Claudie. Come on, you can do this. So yeah, it's the beginning, guys. Just like for everything in AI, I think it has a learning curve, or at least like a messy start, and then it gets better. All right. So let's see. LinkedIn About section. Empowering creative to turn their passion into profit. Education content creator, community builder, 41-year-old Belgian educator and digital content creator. I'm on a mission to teach 1 million people how to make money doing what they love with a unique blend of international, blah, blah, blah. Okay, my expertise, video marketing and social media strategy, public speaking, branding and marketing, graphic. Okay, so it did fetch stuff from my resume. So this is perfect. It actually did the job. So let's come back to our slide right here and add the last check. Summarize content in Canva Docs and presentation. So actually here, not only Docs and presentation, but any Canva design. So it can get into your Canva design, doc, presentation, CV, whatever, and repurpose that content for creating a new piece of content. All right, so you've seen that the road was somehow bumpy. Okay, this is week 2 of this integration. Still the very early days, and it was clanky. I'm not gonna lie, it was not a smooth ride. But we got 4 out of 6 out of the promised outcomes, the promised things that this integration could do. So 4 out of 6 is not a bad score when it comes to delivering on their promise. Now, I believe the main takeaway here is that this represents a fundamental shift in the way we design and in the way we are going to be designing in the very near future. Okay, AI is disrupting pretty much every industry, every single aspects of our lives, and design is not going to be spared. Trust me, it's just going to follow the same trend. So the earlier you learn to adopt this technology, the earlier you play around, you experiment with it, the bigger the advantage you will have on the other people who don't try this. So I encourage you to give it a try. As you've seen, I haven't paid for anything yet. I'm using the free trial. You have access to Claude Pro for 7 days. So if I were you, I would just use that free week to try the integration. And if you don't like it, you don't need to continue your pro plan with Claude. But if you do like it, then start finding ways it works for you, because I've been using this for a couple of hours and I'm sure there are some better ways to use this. So if you do find some cool workflows or some cool use cases to experiment with, let us know in the comments. I'm very curious to know. I hope you enjoyed this kind of unfiltered tutorial where I show you the things as they are, just showing you the new features, pointing out the weaknesses and the strength as they are. All right, that's it for me for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next tutorial.